Hello world. Agustin Cortez coming live from Web3, and today was a very interesting day because it took a lot of marketing and shilling. And it's been a while since I've really put on my full marketer hat. I've usually been more on a biz ops role, a learning role about systems, technical, and my career essentially started off as a marketer. So it's quite refreshing to jump back into the space and using cognitive biases, psychology to get an idea and get people to believe. So the day was essentially all around getting people excited for the Scholars NFT. Now, something is happening that's quite interesting. A lot of projects are facing this issue, and it's that the NFT market is entering or has been in a bear market, meaning that projects aren't that hot. ETH is essentially going up, so not as many transactions are going on, not as many active wallets are in the market. So essentially, it's harder to sell and there's more and more projects coming out. So it's getting more difficult to stand out among the noise. And even if you do stand out, it's difficult to get a lot of momentum. But regardless, since we're in a pre-launch phase, there are still people interested and people are in the space for the longevity. NFTs are a very interesting space in crypto because NFTs are an object in this digital realm where ownership is tied in. An NFT is not an art piece. An NFT is not an image. It's not a ticket. But the whole concept of an NFT is an object, more about you have validity of ownership via smart contract. And this object can be many things. But the market right now essentially is definitely tied to collectibles, profile picture components, and it's quite interesting to see where things are going to evolve. And this is what we want to do with scholars. We've been focusing on scholars with the narrative of tying utility in education. So if we become a collection and a community that is really focused on Web3 education and opening opportunities, then it will be very util based to own a scholar because that will be your ticket. It's more of access to a network and opportunity and so on. It's not just about holding something and introducing FOMO and marketing and these subjective variables that don't carry much validity. And if we essentially do this right, we will have a strong product because we're tying utility. And what's very interesting in the market itself is that there's collections, NFT collections for gaming, for luxury brands, for sports clubs, for art, music, virtual reality, but there isn't a strong collection for education. Education is a market that has been put off to the side once again, like in a lot of areas. But if we can be first to market and become the established collection in the education sector, we're doing some amazing stuff because being first to market is a huge, huge moat. In business and venture, a moat is essentially what makes you stand out and be protected from competitors. The moat in real life is the border that castles would have. Usually it's like that river um, index where it would be around water. The castle would be around water, and there'd be a bridge between the gate and overcoming the river. And sometimes they would have like alligators or something scary, so people wouldn't be able to get in. And that's exactly what a moat is. And being first is a very strong moat. But it's interesting too because there's a lot of noise out there, and creating a narrative product marketing to stand out, it is challenging. It's not easy, but we've been generating some steam. I've been getting a decent amount of followers on Twitter, and the collection is getting some eyes. But if we want to move fast, we have to do a very scalable method organically. We could do paid ads, but paid ads is not optimal in my opinion because it's in a sense artificial scarcity. It can be very effective if we focus on some other components, but collections now really have strong narratives of organic reach. Like right now, I was taking a look at a project and they were really killing it with some organic marketing, and they really focused on FOMO. We're not necessarily taking that approach, but it's interesting to see other collections and their philosophies for marketing. Now, where us being so early, we're kind of limited on our cards with getting this nerd about, right? We don't have a website pull out yet, although the website is going to be super, super clean. Fausto's working on that as we speak, and that'll give us a lot more authority, a lot more credibility when they see a clean site. We only have placeholder images, and people will decide if they really like the collection based off the art, right? That's the first bias or proof of stimulus that people get introduced to. So if we get people to like our art, then they'll be like, oh, what project is this? Let me keep an eye on it. And being a placeholder, it's not as effective as if we had a full-on impressive art piece, right? But we're also working on that as well. And then introducing the pre-sale, we had an interesting experience today. We launched the pre-sale and we got botted. Essentially, we got spammed. We had over 3,000 responses, but they weren't legit. So we had to do the security push. We had to stop accepting offers, let the community know. And it's a hit, right? We wanted it to be a smooth push out, but bots are ruthless, especially in NFTs and Web3. But it's transparency. We wanted to let the community know that it wasn't as smooth as we like, but we deal with issues in a rapid manner. We're transparent and we improve from it. That's the whole just because it's not going to be a linear, smooth operations. It's always going to be ups and downs, but you have to have trust in the team, and the team should be transparent with what's happening to the entire project and not keep things behind open doors. That's a big part of the culture in Web3 is that it's open. It's the ledger, the data, the blockchain is open. And if you have a collection that doesn't follow that ethic principle, it's kind of ironic that in terms of philosophical ethics, it's not following the core principle of transparency. So yeah, there's a lot of elements going on. I'm excited though. It's really pushing my creative juices on what to do next for the scalable organic growth. We want to make sure we do it right too, because we don't just want paper hands to come in here for the quick flip. We want people to believe and get them in the Discord, get them engaged, get them to believe in the longevity of the project. And that is where the power lies. We have strong followers from our Learnio Discord coming over to Scholars NFT, and they're sticking with this. They want to hodl and keep the project for long term because they know the ambition and vision that we have with Learnio, and they believe in the team and they know that we can execute effectively for scholars. And yeah, we're in an interesting position, like I said, with the bear market, the current variables that we're working with, but this is real stuff now. We've been learning for the past couple months, and now we're executing. Now we're getting feedback from the market. We're seeing how people react to us, and this is the test. We'll see how things work out, but I am optimistic. We're giving it our all, and I'm excited to build this case study, whether we succeed and meet our expectations or where we fall short. It's going to be a huge learning lesson regardless. And NFT is just the stepping stone for what we have in plan. We really want to dive into the core of blockchain. We want to build protocols. We want to introduce so many variables that are extremely ambitious that the NFT will seem like the small project, but we have to have our stepping stone, which will be the NFT. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it short. Thank you so much. Please, if you're interested, join the Discord, be active with us. Please help us uplift the project. We need people to show support, show love, shill it, make others believe in it, because that is the momentum. It's the flywheel. People operate and believe what others are presenting towards them. So if we get this community, it's literally a collective push among others. And if you are on the pre-sale list, which is open, you have skin in the game. So you are essentially marketing and doing progressive valuation for yourself because you have a guaranteed spot. Okay, so we'll conclude here, but I'm excited. We'll see where tomorrow leads and for the upcoming week. All right, so I will see you tomorrow. Thank you.